Hey, time for more Andrew's Quest, everybody. It's Friday, last day of the week, right into work. It's been kind of slow, but it's just the way it is, I guess. Apparently, next week they want everybody to be working 8-hour days instead of the 12-hour days. I mean, like, I always work 8 hours just because it's like not worth it to me. And it's weird when people are like, "Oh yeah, celebrate 8-hour days," because nobody's really forced to do it. But whatever. So I'm riding home, and I ride past these two people that are like shouting, pushing, and like punching at each other. And I stop, and I'm like, "Hey, stop! Don't stop that!" And they both stop and look at me. And one of them's a guy, and the other one's a lady. And the guy's like, "Hey, mind your own business. Just go home, bud." And I'm like, "Well, kind of can't when you're like pushing and slapping each other, like." And then the lady's like, says, "Please help me, like, don't leave." And I'm like, okay, well, I'm in this now." So I'm telling them, I'm like, "Hey man, just calm down." And then he's like, "Don't call me a man. I'm a transgendered person." And I'm like, "Well, okay, well, that's not the point." Like, so, yeah. I tell them to calm down again. They're not calming down. They're just like walking around, pushing at each other. And then the guy is sort of calmed down. He's like more focused on me. And then the lady starts like trying to put her hands into his pockets and is like pushing at him. And I'm like, "Hey, both of you, that means don't like push each other." So I wind up calling the police, and as I'm on the phone, they start walking away from me south, and I'm like, "Alright, well, if you actually need help, you shouldn't walk away from the person who's calling the police." So I follow them a little bit, and then they come back towards the park, and they start walking into the park, and I feel weird about like leaving the spot that I called the police. So I'm staying here, being like, "Okay, be nice if the police showed up." So I just sort of watch them walk off into the distance, and I'm sort of expecting, like, 1, 2 minutes maybe, and some police will show up with sirens, cause like that shit just it was happening as I was on the phone with them. But 12 minutes later, some a random police car drove by, and I waved it down. And I don't know, I guess they weren't really like looking for me, but I tell them about what happened, and then they drive forward a little bit and sort of hang out there. And I guess maybe they like called for other people or policemen to come, which, like, I don't know what's happening. I'm just standing here being like, should I leave? And then another cop car shows up, and they ask me about what happened and where the people went. And then they're like, "Well, we'll check out the area and you can go home." And I'm like, "Well, that's kind of, I don't know what to do, you know? It's like they walked away, and I didn't feel like following them into this park. So I guess I'm just gonna go home and be like, I hope everything worked out for the best." That was the first time that I've ever called 911, and I don't know if it was worth it. Like, it's Friday night. I'm sure there's plenty of drunk idiots around. Maybe it was just another case of that. Anyways, a long time ago, one of the strings broke on this banjo, so I've just haven't been using it. And yeah, I'm gonna restring it to sort of just do my own thing for a while. And I'm kind of not sure if I ordered the right strings. Like, I guess I never realized that two of the strings are the same. And then these ones, I don't know, they just feel thinner than the other ones that I had. So I've never stringed a guitar before, or a banjo. And it feels okay, but it feels like one of the strings is weirdly high. So I think maybe the bridge got flipped around when I took off all the strings. So I flipped the bridge around and it feels kind of the same. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe this thing got flipped around because I fell out at one point. So I loosened the strings and then flip that around and it still kind of feels the same. It just looks uglier now, but whatever. My tuner's out of battery, so I can't actually tune it because I suck at tuning things by ear. But I don't know, maybe I'll mess with this later.